Today's episode is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Renewal by Andersen offers you a better way to a better window. Go to rbacentralpadeals.com for this month's specials. A research facility for self-driving vehicles is coming to Westmoreland County. Meanwhile, the National Aviary wants to help keep a bird off the extinction list. A study has found just how much farmers markets contribute to local economies. Lastly, here's Pennsylvania's favorite food truck order. I'm Claudia DeMiro, and you're listening to Today in PA. A facility for testing and researching self-driving vehicles will be built in Westmoreland County, the first of its kind in Pennsylvania, reports the Tribune Review. State officials announced last week that the $20 million facility will be built on 100 acres of state-owned land in East Huntingdon and will come complete with a 3-mile test track. The facility, which will also serve as a training center for emergency responders, is expected to open in either late 2024 or early 2025. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is currently evaluating whether or not to list the ivory-billed woodpecker as extinct, reports the Tribune Review. And researchers at the National Aviary in Pittsburgh are looking to prove it still exists. Concerned an extinct listing will put resources for protecting the bird at stake, the National Aviary has launched Project Principalis. This project has gathered over 10 years' worth of images, sightings, and even drone footage in order to make a case for the ivory-billed woodpecker. This evidence was recently presented before the Fish and Wildlife Service, although what effect it had on the woodpecker's fate remains to be seen. Farmers markets across the state bring in the leafy green as much as they sell them, states the Daily Item. A study conducted by the Penn State Cooperative Extension has found that last year, 15% of local farmers markets generated about $18 million in local economic activity. On top of that, the over 330 open-air farmers markets throughout Pennsylvania made about $100 million of economic activity in a 5 to 6 month market season. Importantly, though, the study proves that farmers markets are more than just a nice outside event. Says study author and educational program associate at the cooperative, Brian F. Moyer, these farmers markets, quote, create jobs, help drive the local economy, and allow farms and food artisans to retain a much higher portion of the food dollar. Food trucks are all over the place, says PennLive. They've also gotten a lot fancier than your regular street meat trucks in recent years, and because of the variety of food trucks that are now out there, a lot more popular. But what food truck order is the most popular of them all? Well, Shane Company took a look at Yelp and Google data from the past 12 months pertaining to food trucks and the menu items people were looking at the most. Overall, they found that tacos were the most popular food truck item across the board, although favoritism did differ by state, and Pennsylvania's was burgers. Honorable food truck favorite mentions include Mississippi's Alligator Po' Boys and North Dakota's Hawaiian pulled pork sandwiches. Now, who's hungry? That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, drop by PennLive.com. Also, please don't forget to rate this podcast and to share it on your social platform of choice. Thanks ahead of time, and as always, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia DeMiro, and I'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Today in PA.